Welcome to another conversation for Millionairess magazine and the Millionairess movement. I'm Amanda Jane Clarkson, editor-in-chief, and today I'm delighted to be joined by the very inspiring Koya Webb. Koya is an internationally recognized yoga teacher, celebrity holistic health coach, author, speaker, and vegan activist whose core mission is to promote daily self-care, oneness, and eco-friendly living to combat some of the world's biggest challenges, including mental health, social injustices, and global warming. Koya is the founder of Get Loved Up, an international lifestyle community and yoga school that inspires mental, spiritual, and physical health through an app, online courses, retreats, in-person yoga teacher training events, and the Get Loved Up podcast. She is also the author of Let Your Fears Make You Fierce: How to Turn Common Obstacles into Seeds for Growth, which addresses daily self-assessment, mindfulness, and understanding how to make fear your friend, using the power of holistic health to heal. All very empowering messages that she promotes to her devout Instagram following of over 1 million followers. Welcome, Koya. It is lovely to have you part of the Millionairess magazine and the Millionairess movement. Thank you for being here with me today.
Thank you so much for having me. It is such a treat and a treasure to be with you and your community today. It's an exciting time.
It is a very exciting time, especially now for women banding together and rising together, and just love your story. It's super inspirational. I've really looked into it. So why don't you share with our audience your journey of how you got to where you are today, doing the work you do? How did this all begin?
It really starts when I was born in Humboldt, Tennessee. I'm a small town Southern girl. I never thought I'd be traveling the world and teaching and educating and doing the things that I do now. I just thought I was going to get married, have a couple kids, and just, live a simple Southern life. And I didn't know. I probably think I had these dreams. I started having these dreams of being an athlete and going to the Olympics and making a big impact in the world and sharing with people how to live a healthy and active lifestyle, because I was always into health, even at a young age. And so as it went from small town girl to change the world, I decided to go to college on a full track scholarship. And I was doing very well. I was slated to read in the conference the next season, and I got a sharp pain in my back. And once I went to the doctor, they told me, you have a stress fracture, you're out for the season. So in that moment, all this energy and thought process I put into becoming an athlete and becoming an Olympic athlete was all of a sudden just crushed. And I didn't know what to do with myself. I didn't know what to do with my life. I put all of my eggs in that one basket. And so it came crashing down for me, and I got very depressed really quickly. I was crying in classes. I didn't want to be here anymore because I didn't know what I was going to do with myself. And so my teacher got tired of my sobbing fits that would happen in the middle of class. And she sent me to the counselor, and the counselor suggested that I try yoga. Again, Southern girl, Southern Baptist girl. I was like, I don't think I could worship any idol gods or anything like that. And I remember statues of Buddha. That's what only thing I could think of when I thought of yoga. She's like, oh no, it's just stretching. It's just stretching. It'll make you feel better. I'm like, okay, well, I don't have a choice because I basically just got kicked out of class. So let's try this yoga thing. So I go in the class. I am a tight athlete. I can't even touch my toes. And people wouldn't believe that if they look at my Instagram, they see where I am now. They're like, oh, she was born like that. Not even. And my journey has taken me so long to get to where I am today, but I couldn't touch my toes. It was painful. That's why I can really understand when people say, oh, yoga is not for me and it hurts. Because yes, it does hurt when you first start because your body's not used to all that movement. And then we have so much lactic acid and tension and anxiety just stuffed inside of our muscles and our cells. It takes a while to get all that out. So anyway, I was just in pain. I was like, how can they call this bliss? It is very painful. And my teacher at the time saw me struggling, and she told me, she said, Koya, I just want you to breathe with me. And I just took this deep inhale and exhale with her. And all of a sudden I just felt this peace, these tingles run through my body. I'm like, okay, that was good. I can do that. I knew, and so I knew in that instant when I felt that tingling sensation that was spirit. And I had felt it before. And then after that feeling, I got baptized because my parents always told me, you'll know the feeling. Because I'd ask them, when am I going to get baptized? When am I going to do this thing to signify I just want to be a good person all the time, even though I'm probably not a good person all the time. They're like, you'll, right? And so tingles happen. And I was like, I'm in the right place. And so from there, I went on to train for 6 months, to be honest. 6 months. I tried to go back to the track. I wasn't ready. So I ended up taken a whole year off. I did yoga, meditation, swimming, biking, just really spent the time with myself and my breath and getting to know myself. And I really wasn't practicing any self-care. It was like on the track, in the books, up all night, not enough sleep, go, 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 rush, rush, rush. And I just strained my body. So this stress fracture was like a calling card to me to wake up and practice more self-care versus doing everything that I thought I'm doing for myself so I can get ahead, but I wasn't taking care of myself in the process. So that's how I found yoga.
It's so many, magical little messages within there. I'm actually a runner myself. So I know what you're saying when you can't even touch your toes and everything's tight. And my husband practices yoga and he said, you really should try it, Amanda. I'm going, yeah, I'll get to it one day, but I think I might try it after this conversation.
It's really great because especially as runners, like our calves get tight, our feet get tight, and we build up all this lactic acid, and some of it we stretch out naturally when we run, but there's so much more, even with that compounding, like on the pavement and things like that. There's so many things going on in the body that the extra oxygen and the extra blood flow that you get in the yoga practice, it actually helps you heal faster. It helps you run faster. It helps you, recover faster. So I 100% agree with your husband. You should try just a little bit of yoga and breath work and see how you feel.
I will. I promise after this I will. This is why I love having these conversations. I don't listen to him, but I'll listen to you. Typical.
It's like that with the guys, right?
Don't tell me what to do. But the thing I want to touch on that I love about you, because you're very young, and this is where when we're younger, we are on the go, 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 really pushing our bodies and pushing ourselves to the max, live now, sleep later. That's the motto, sleep when you're dead, as they say in some songs. But women especially really, they don't take care of themselves. We usually put everybody first. And what would you say to the woman who says, I don't have time for all that stuff. I don't have time for yoga. I've got 3 kids. I've got to get up and get them to school. I've got a business to take care of. How important do you believe taking care of self is, and how can it benefit other areas of your life?
Oh, that is such a juicy question.
Yeah.
And I just hit him with this. This is the truth. You can't really argue this. The more that you take care of yourself, the better you're going to be able to take care of everybody else, children, partner, world, human, everything included, because you'll be more rested. You'll have more energy. Your body has more time to recover. You're happier, releasing those happy hormones. Everything gets better when you are better. You can do your job better. Everything. Come on. No one can argue with that. Scientific studies prove it. Period. Point blank. Stop putting yourself last. I get it. I always I'm empathic too. I love loving on people. It gets me high. I get high loving on people. I love it. It's what I'm here for. But I realize even with what's going on in the world today, that the more you slow down, the more impact you will make. And I know it doesn't seem right. It's like, no, because I got to do this now. But I will tell you, I am a testament, because I'm like, oh my goodness, I needed to slow down this much. And I'm always surprised at how even much more I have to slow down how much more I have to practice self-care. I have to put my self-care and my rituals and my routine in my phone. I have to remind myself. And then I have people when I'm slipping to remind me, Koya, you're putting this and that and that. So you really have to employ people. If you're like me and you just get high off serving others and get high off doing everything for everybody else, your husband, your kids, your wife, your whatever, like, you need help, because you can't do it alone. This is hard, okay? Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say, oh, it's so easy, girls. No, it's hard when you're a lover, and you really have to make a schedule. Put yourself first. First thing in the morning, you first. And I know I still grab my phone in the morning too, but I try my best to, like, okay, give myself a limit. After 25 minutes doing something I know I'm not supposed to be doing, stop it. And then you have to employ people. Seriously, you have to employ people that love you to be like, girl, stop. Like, you're doing too much. So that's my tip to people out there who are lovers, who are empathic, who just love, just oozing that love. You're going to ooze even more love when you are well taken care of, well nourished, well fed, well clothed, and loved up. Period.
Ladies, I hope you are writing. So I couldn't agree more. What I do, this is from my years, I guess, of being an athlete, from a young age, probably like yourself, you get that a little bit of discipline. But as you get more mature, I understand we get busier, business takes over, you got your family, this and the other. But I have what I call my magic pants that sit beside my bed every morning, Koya. I get up and I put them on, no matter how I'm feeling. I just put on the magic outfit, which is my running outfit. And it just changes my physiology. And I have no excuses. I don't allow myself to touch my telephone or the computer until I've done something for me. And like you said, it's not easy, but it can be done with practice. And now I'm going to start the yoga 3 days a week. I'm going to get your course.
Absolutely. And you just tack it on right before your run, a little bit right before your run, and a little bit right after that 5 minute. Just doing some breath work and, doing the stretches, but maybe like settle into it a little bit longer. And then after, maybe you just sit for like 5 to 10 minutes and just listen to your breath. You'd be like, what? Just listen to my breath. Seriously, take yourself to this happy place, maybe a place you want to travel or something like that. And I'm telling you, it just brings you this peace, and it brings you a peace like none other, and it resets your body. It helps you rest. It helps you digest. It triggers your parasympathetic nervous system. It's just good for you all the way around. And it's proven so much now that I'm happy that it's becoming mainstream, because I feel like more people, just because it's popular, they don't know the science behind it. It doesn't matter. If it's popular, people are going to do it. Great. I'm happy about it, because then more of us can be well. But I think when people know the science behind it and they feel the impact, they're more likely to keep up with it.
Oh, and you're just all getting loved up by Koya Webb. What more do you want? My husband's a mad surfer, so he surfs as many days as he can. But since he started yoga, and he surfed all his life, he can feel the impact and the breathing and the stamina. He's even got extra stamina and extra strength because you're using so many muscles and parts of your body that you don't use in that one, whether you run or you surf, you just use that one set of muscles every time. He loves it. And now I'm going to plug into you, and I'll be letting you know how mobile I am and how much better of a runner I become. I'm sure it will really impact many areas of my life as well. So ladies, there is no excuse. All of the benefits that Koya just, listed for us, there's no excuse. And I say get up at how long do we need each morning, Koya? 10 minutes, 20 minutes?
Yeah, 10, 15 minutes is a great start. You can even start off with 5 minutes. It's scientifically proven that at least 20 minutes of meditation in the morning and in the evenings that has the biggest impact. But when I started with just 5 minutes. I do breath work for 5 minutes, and then I do some stretching for 5 minutes, and then I would meditate. And that's 15 minutes total. And so if someone wants to start with that, or if they just want to do one of those three things, doing the breath work, just breathing, being conscious with your breath, doing some stretches, some yoga. You don't have to call it yoga if you're not into the word yoga, because I get it. People are different, like religions and stuff. They're like, oh, it could be stretching. The beautiful thing about it is it increases the blood flow. So no matter what sport you're in, you could be into dance, you could be into running, you could be into surfing, you could be into whatever it is. You could be into no sport and just sitting around at home. And yoga and breath work and meditation are going to benefit you because one, they increase your oxygen with the breath work. And then two, they increase your blood flow with the yoga. And then the meditation, it increases your connection to your soul. And I feel like with those things in place, you are really going to be living your purpose and your full potential. So it's worth it because it's just so much more than stretching.
So many more benefits, and there's no drawbacks to this, is there, whatsoever? And going back to a moment, you've said so many golden gems this morning that I want to pick up on. The moment that you realized in your mind that your possibility of that gold medal as an athlete was probably over. Take us back to that moment, because many women feel the disappointment or perceived failure and they just don't let it go. They wear it on their back or drag it around like a dead horse that stinks for years and years, and they never get on with life. Can you share with us how in that moment, such a big chunky goal, I know how hard you would have been training for that. I watched my sister go through it for the Commonwealth Games, to realise in that heartbeat that dream was over. Take us back to that moment and help the women understand how to move through as you have.
That's a really tricky question because I don't necessarily think that dream is over. And I'm a firm believer of that you can't fail unless you stop trying. So that's one of my quotes. You can't fail until you stop trying. So I don't know, because I'm still in great shape. And so I can do like Senior Olympics if I still want to do that. So I've thought about that, first of all.
Did you say Senior Olympics?
Yes.
You're only a young lady.
No, you probably are not guessing my age accurately, but that's okay because yay, healthy eating. 15 years. I'm a poster child for my lifestyle and diet. But no, seriously, you can definitely I can, if I want to go back. And I've thought about it many times, but I know what you're getting at. For the moment, I'm not running track and field. I'm not training. I'm being honest. Like, I do toy with the idea of going back, just because I run a mile a day. I stay in good shape. I'm healthier than I've ever been in my life, even when I ran, because I've just kept up with my fitness and my nutrition. It's just part of my lifestyle now. So I always toy with the idea of going back. But to be honest, after I got the gold, after I won the conference meet, I actually decided to move to California. I moved to California. I was like, I'm going to Olympic Training Center. I'm going to go after it. And I put myself last again. I wasn't practicing self-care. I was just trying to make money. I became a personal trainer first. And I was like, I'm going to help people. Here I am. Love to help people all outside of myself, pushing out all this love, pushing out all this training. Body's not recovering. So I got interested. When are we going to learn? Sometimes we have to go through cycles again and again before we finally get it. We're like, okay, I get it. So this time I was like, okay, I get it. And so I signed up for my yoga teacher training. So the yoga teacher training, it really helped me understand why the yoga, the breath, the meditation. And I recommend it for anyone. You don't have to want to be a yoga teacher or a health advocate or anything else. But once you understand the science behind why the breath work works, why the yoga, why the meditation works, then I was like, oh my goodness, everyone needs to know about this. And I got so excited because I'm like, this is magic no one knows about, and how to really like turn my life around. And I started feeling amazing. And in that moment, after my yoga teacher, I was like, I am going to tell everyone about the gift of yoga. Everyone needs to know this. Why isn't anyone just singing this from the mountaintops? And now it's more popular than it was about 17 years ago when I started.
Yes.
So I was just like, I got to tell everyone about it. And so then I became a yoga instructor, and then I ended up becoming a life coach because one time one of my clients was like, I don't want to train. I just want to talk to you. And I realized like, oh, I do a good job of asking people questions and bringing them to their own resolutions and holding space for people. So I became a life coach, and then I wrapped it all together, and I am what I am now, just have my own yoga school and just seriously, honestly, just teaching mental, spiritual, and physical health and wellness. And I love it.
Yeah, I can see you. It's coming from within. I have a similar background to you. I was a personal trainer for years, went into life coaching, and now do all this sort of work similar to you, a little different, but still the same message. But what I picked up from what you just shared there, and I love it, is that a seed of adversity, with every seed of adversity or drawback or pain or whatever people want to put on it, there's an equal seed of opportunity. And in that moment, you turned adversity into opportunity. And what's come of that is a fulfilling life that you have meaning in. And now you're helping thousands of people all over the world change and empower their lives. That's really the message behind the message that I'm feeling. Have I hit the nail on the head there?
Absolutely. You've hit the nail on the head. I mean, the name of my book is Let Your Fears Make You Fierce: How to Turn Common Obstacles into Seeds for Growth. And so absolutely, I think every challenge is an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to expand, an opportunity to understand something we didn't understand before. And so, and the reason I subtitled my book and use like, you know, Let Your Fears Make You Feel, how to turn common obstacles into seeds for growth, because a lot of times we feel buried. We feel overcome by darkness. We are that seed, and we're not always bloomed. And being buried alive is not fun, you know? So that buried part is the injury. That buried part is the frustration. That buried part is the loss of your job or loss of your loved one, or that all that crap that we just don't like, and all that crap that just takes us down. That's being buried. But remember, we are buried, and once we water ourselves with self-care and love and nurture, then we are going to sprout, and we're going to break through that darkness, and we're going to bloom like the biggest, most beautiful, most gorgeous flower that we've ever seen in our life. But we have to go through that grit. We have to go through the darkness, and we have to understand that we have been planted. We're not dead. We're not dead till we leave this earth. Every challenge is a planting us in this opportunity for expansion and growth.
That's really beautiful. It's like going through the 4 seasons. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, and you really have to remember that, because we live in this society. It's like a microwave society. We want it now. We only want the one side. We only want the benefits without the negatives or the drawbacks, but life's not like that. A moment ago, girlfriend, you touched on mentors, and I have no doubt you've had many in your athletic career, your life as a life coach yourself. What would you say to women watching this? The importance, or what do you believe the importance of a mentor is in different areas of your life?
It is so important, because a lot of times we don't feel like we're enough. We don't feel like we're worthy. We don't feel like we can do it. And we need that person that can inspire us and also pick us up when we're going through. Again, you can't see the end of the tunnel. You can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. You can't see the sun if you're buried. You can't see it. So you need someone that can help water you. So your mentor is like that water pot that's like, okay, let me just give you some hydration. And we're all, we're 70% water. We need hydration. Yes. And so that mentor is that hydration that can help you through a dark time, or a therapist or someone like that. And, if you don't have a mentor, sometimes we're too much. We need a therapist before we get a mentor, because we'll drive our mentor crazy. So sometimes don't be ashamed if you need a little therapy. I'm an advocate for therapy. I mean, I've been through a lot in my life that everyone can read in my book, but I think that it's important to peel back those layers of trauma and peel back those layers of disgust. Like, if you're not happy, then, and just doing things like, I tell people, get a love bank and put everything that brings you joy into this love bank. And when you're not feeling good, just pull out something. And it could be walking your pet, or it could be going outside. It could be dancing. It could be sewing. It could be whatever it is. And you just pull it out and you do it until you're happy. Now, if you pull things out of the love bank and you're still frustrated, then that means you need intervention. You need a little bit more help. And a mentor could be enough. But if you find you can't keep a mentor, you probably need a therapist. Let's just be honest and just get the therapist or the mentor. And I laugh, but I'm being serious. And
bring on the help. I say that too. Bring it on.
Yeah, you gotta bring on the help. We're not meant to be in this life alone. We're all one. I believe we're all one. I believe in oneness. I believe that these bodies are just shell housing this spirit of oneness, this energy. And it brings us different challenges that we're going to face in in our life? And then with those challenges, can we maintain our peace? Can we maintain the knowingness of who we really are, which is divine?
Oh, so this is so good. I love this conversation, so aligned. And most women don't even feel worthy of taking that time to check in with themselves. And I think you've got a massive, massive following and community. How important is it to be around the people who believe in you? Because you've no doubt, Koya, come up, you're a visionary, a wellness visionary, come up against the naysayers and the ones that pull you down, the ones that you love the most sometimes are the naysayers and the pullers. How have you gotten through that? And is your community of like-minded people integral to your success?
Oh, that's such a good question, because those naysayers, those haters, they're like weeds that want to choke out your flower. And they're like weeds. And you know what you got to do? Weeds, you got to chop them. You got to cut them. It's hard to grow when you got to cut it. You know, it's like hard to grow when you have weeds like holding you down and pulling you down. And so you really have to create healthy boundaries in your life so that when the naysayers and when people are talking about you behind your back, and when people are, because it can, if you're a sensitive soul like myself, like, man, I have let people's words and judgments crush me time and time again. And then the only thing that can lift me up is spirit, is God. And I'm just like, and I'm like, how did I get here again? But when you have a sensitive soul, you have to understand that people are going to say, and my dad told me when I was a little girl, and I got mad at him for telling me this, but he said, Koya, life isn't fair. And you cannot expect everyone to treat you like you treat them. You cannot expect everyone to treat you kindly no matter what. And I was like, how rude. Like, how can you tell me that? That's not true. There's just some good people out there, you know? And I was such a positive Polly, and I wanted to believe, like, but the thing is, everyone is inherently good. The thing is, we're all going through levels of trauma. And so I don't want to, I want to acknowledge the pain, but I also don't want to feel like I really believe in transformation. And I believe in, if you're honest with yourself and you have a compassionate heart, you realize that people might not be necessarily trying to tear you down, but if they are going through their own trauma, you just being your loving self could be triggering for them. They could say things and do things, but that's out of their own pain. But if you have compassion for them, but just create a healthy boundary, because you don't need that toxicity in your life, you will thrive. Period. And I've had to do that so many times because I have a huge open heart. I have a huge community, and it's like, come on in, let me love everybody. Let me hug everybody. Okay. Really bad girlfriend. Like, I have to remember that you need to set healthy boundaries. And I've had intuitive coach after mentor tell me the same thing my father told me. Koya, protect yourself, protect your energy. Know that if you want to believe everyone is good, that's fine. That's what everyone tells me all the time. But you have to know, and the way that I've attached to it, because I am an empathic person, so I have this huge heart for people, is that it's toxic. I can be toxic sometimes. I'm toxic to people. I don't know, you know? And so when you recognize toxicity, that means something, it could be like news, it could be media, it could be a person, it could be whatever it is. When it gives you this negative feeling, anger, fear, judgment, jealousy, whatever, you need to take a step back and do some self-work. Not judge the thing, not go bash the people and become what you actually don't like, but go with and self-nurture and realize that, oh, this is a place inside of me that needs more attention. Because part of my book, like, your fears make you fierce, is like, that fear is your friend, and it's telling you you need help. In that injury, it wasn't bad on me. I shouldn't beat myself up. I shouldn't beat my coach up for giving me too much training. I shouldn't go talk bad about the school for giving me so much homework. No. It's up to me to set boundaries on how much I study, when I sleep, how much I train, and if I'm communicating to each and every person in every part of my life what I need to feel loved and supported. And if I'm not doing that, it is on me. And I think a lot of times when we're trying to do well, we want to blame everyone else. Oh, well, because I have the kids. Oh, because my partner. Oh, because my job. You know, it's up to us to set our own boundaries and take care of our health. Now, after you set those boundaries, if people don't respect them or if people are disrespectful, then you need to know when to walk away. But I think that's really the truth of what we have to do for ourselves as women in order to stay healthy.
Yeah. And what we're saying here basically is awareness and responsibility. Checking in with yourself, becoming aware of where you're at, what you're going through, who you're surrounding yourself with, what are the messages coming in, weeds coming in, grow weeds, flowers coming in, grow flowers. But take responsibility, because that's the next thing I want to touch on. So
Absolutely.
many people, girlfriend, love to hold on to their stinking thinking or their story of why they're not successful, why they haven't got the partner of their dreams, why they haven't got the health and vitality that they want, or the business success. What would you say to the women out there, and even the guys who I know read this magazine and watch these incredible conversations, who just love the story and they tell it for years and years? How do you let go and bury that horse?
A simple sentence. Focus on your why, not your why not.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. Don't focus on why, because again, I believe you don't fail until you stop trying. So if you don't have that house, that partner, that whatever, it can still be happening. But if you're focusing on the why not, your energy is at a low vibration. And I like to talk about energy. And when your energy is in this, I don't have, and woe is me, and oh my God, that's a low vibration. But if you focus on why, I want a partner because, I want a home because, I want kids because, I want money because, you focus on your why instead of your why not, you're going to be at a higher frequency of manifesting what you want in your life, period.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm right into the same stuff. I just love talking about that. What you think about becomes things, you attract so
It
much.
does. And then you build a community around you of people. Just to circle back to your community, you build a community around yourself that support you and that ride for you and that have seen you go through the struggle. And so they know what you need to hear in order to keep going. They can give you life when you don't feel your best. And I know my community, when I was going through just like a hard time, they're like, oh, you mean so much to me and you're posting every day. And they knew like how to just kind of say how much I've impacted their life, so I wouldn't just stop and like give up. Because sometimes when you're hit hard, you just want to just take a back seat and just like take some time. And while you do need time to rest and recover, if you're a person that shows up for people weekly, you might want to go back to 2 weeks. If you a person like me that shows up for people daily, you might want to take a day or two off and just kind of know, do you need to take some hours off? Do you need to take some days off? And just be honest with yourself about the time that you need to like rest and recover, and know that your community, your family, your accountability partners, all of these groups of people are so important. I can't repeat it enough, because I know how it is when you're independent. Sometimes you're like, I'm just better like myself, processing my own pain, processing my own stuff, but that it makes it hard for people to be there for you when you're that person that always has it figured out and always has it together. Because I used to be that person. People are like, well, you don't let me love you because you always have everything figured out. And every time I ask you if something's wrong, nothing's ever wrong, and things would be wrong. I just didn't want to burden people with my problems. And I think that's a lot. That's how we women feel a lot, is that, if we're sharing our problems and that we're burdening people, but no, think of it as you're giving people an opportunity to actually love you, because they can't love someone that's perfect. They have to know that you like go to the bathroom and fart. They know you're human.
Exactly. And women, sometimes I think, depending on the culture or where we grew up or our environment, we feel that we have to be perfect. We've got this mask of conformity on, and we don't want to say the wrong thing to upset anyone. We want so badly for everybody to like us, but you would understand it's just not possible. And this is where then the self-care goes out the window, because women especially are so worried about pleasing and appeasing and, fitting in. What do you say to the women who just have this addiction to needing to fit in instead of wanting to stand out and be the light?
I I feel like it makes me think of one of my favorite speakers, and her name is Lisa Nichols, and she has this thing in this conference that I went to, and she said, just put a little extra on your ordinary, because a lot of times we're like, oh, I'm just an ordinary person, I'm doing this, but it's like it's okay to be extra, and it's okay to allow your light to shine, and know that when you shine your light, it's going to bless so many people. It might burn some people though that are not ready, and maybe your light makes them feel about things that they don't have, and you can't help that. You got to keep shining. So just know that you're the sun. And I would just say to women, know that you are like the sun, and that you're going to shine, and you're going to light the way for so many people just by being you. You don't have to do anything extra. You don't have to like overreach or overstep or try or push even really hard. If you do what's in your heart and soul and what feels good, if you're on purpose, if you know your why and you're giving from this heart-centered place, you're going to light the world for so many people. And I think that is the most beautiful thing we can do with our lives, is just to share our gifts and talents with the world.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I would love for, so many more women to step up and into the light, because there is so much that every woman has to give. And, we talk about elevating your self-worth, your net worth, and your life worth constantly, and just allowing yourself to shine instead of shrink. And sometimes, and you would have heard this with a lot of your community and the people that you mentor, what would you say to the ladies that say, but people in my family, my partner, the people that I love the most don't want me to shine? How would you overcome that challenge?
That's a tough one,
Yeah.
because a lot of times it's not that they don't want you to shine. They think you shining is going to take their love away from them. So if there's any way that you can assure them that you're not going, or assure your partner that you're not going anywhere, but you want to do this for your health, so you can be the best version of yourself. If you can assure your children, like, you're not going anywhere, but you have to do this so you can be the best. Again, we go back to what we talked about in the beginning. You taking care of yourself and practicing self-care and doing those things that fulfill your soul is going to help you be a better partner. Is going to help you be a better parent. And so when you continually to remind them that, hey, my love for you is not going anywhere, just because I'm eating differently, just because I'm doing some meditation and yoga, just because I'm going out, just because I started this business, I'm still, and you got to do it. You have to make time, because sometimes we can get so focused on ourselves, and then we're less there for our children. We're less there for our partners. So you have to maintain balance. And I highly recommend a schedule, making sure that you're spending a couple hours and in that time, not on your phone and not still working, but in that time, just letting them know, what do you want to do with me today? Like, what would make you feel more fulfilled in this moment, whether it's 2 hours or 4 hours or a half day or a full day, whatever you decide. It's important to also do what they want to do, because as a businesswoman, as an independent woman, like, it's so important, the connect. Even my mom, I have to talk to her every Sunday. I talk to her every Sunday, and then sometimes during the week, but at least every Sunday. She knows she's going to talk to me every Sunday. And then my brothers and sisters, I talk to them either once a week or and so each person needs a little something different. So you have to find out, what do the people in your life need to feel loved, and give it to them. That way, when you doing this thing, it's not going to feel like you're taking your love away from them.
Yeah, kind of figuring out what their love language is and making time to check in.
Absolutely.
Balance is talked about a lot these days. There's a lot of debate about it. Some people believe there's no such thing. Others believe that you can have it all. What is your take on balance? What does it mean to you? What does it look like? And can you have it all, Koya?
Well, I think about balance. I think balance is very important. Yeah. And I think, of course, like, I was a heptathlete in college, so it was all about doing 7 events very well. But sometimes the high jump would be good, and the shot put would be good, and then other times the run would be good. And so, just like life, it's kind of hard to balance. So I like to talk about harmony. Things have to be in harmony. You don't always have to be in perfect balance. Sometimes you're going to be up and someone else is going to be down, or you're going to be down and someone. So if you're looking for things to be 50-50, I tell people, be like, I want a relationship 50-50. It's like, why would you ever want to give 50%? How about you just give 100% of yourself in every single relationship, every time you wake up. And sometimes that 100% might look like you being in the bed because you're giving 100% to your rest and recovery. And sometimes that 100% might be doing 20 to 40 things in a day. I hope not 40, but you get what I'm saying? Like, it could be a lot, but you don't have to look to be perfect. Again, we go back to that thrive and that desire for perfection. But if you say, in all my relationships, I will bring 100% of myself, whatever it is, and honor your no's, honor that balance that you're trying to achieve, but not looking at it as perfection, but looking at, okay, balance for me today looks like more self-care. Balance for me tomorrow means spending more time with my friends. Balance for me the next day means spending more time with my partner. Balance for me the next day means taking a staycation for myself. So I think it's more about harmony and finding out what is the balance in each day.
Yeah, I really dig what you're just saying there. Kind of what I'm picking up is prioritize what's important to you. Take care of the things that really matter, things that are meaningful, fulfill you, and learn to say no, because us women are shockers at saying no. I love saying thank you, but no thank you. However, it didn't come easy, well practiced, but I think that is a golden word that can really change a life. Do you?
Absolutely. I absolutely think that no, or not right now. One thing I've been saying is my plate is full at the moment, but check back with me. I've told people check back with me in a month, 2 months, a year, if I know I can't make a decision until next year because of the climate we're in. So don't, and if, and not right now is not a no. And not right now might be valid because some people are like, well, I didn't really want to say no. Well, good. You don't have to. If it's a no, say no. It's either yes or no. If it's a maybe, that not right now. And giving yourself time to think about it and ponder it until it feels like a yes, because a maybe is a no. In my book, a maybe is a no, a not right now basically is a no, but there's some things where you can give yourself time to kind of process it. But if it's a yes, it's yes. But if it's a maybe, it's like, it's a no, not for right now, but you can say maybe, or you can say, give me some time to think about it. You can say, whatever the situation, and let people know what you're going through. Because a lot of times people have these expectations, especially if you're showing up all the time, they have an expectation for you to show up and shine like you normally do. But if you need that rest, you need the recovery, or you just focus in a different area at this time, you want to be able to communicate that to people and not just expect them to understand, not expect them to figure you out, but just communicate and say, hey, at this time right now, this is what I'm going through, again, so people can love you. A lot of times we don't want to tell them what we're going through, and people might feel rejected and they might feel bad. And then a year later, you're like, yeah, I couldn't do that, because they're like, oh my God, why did you just tell me? I just felt like you were blowing me off and you didn't, And so that communication, it does mean a lot to people.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you're glad you didn't say maybe to us, girlfriend.
Oh,
maybe.
I know you have to, again, it's that balance. And I have to go with what I energetically feel is right at the time. And I definitely think that this energetically, and I'm feeling good throughout the whole thing, it was a yes. And I just, I had to honor that. And it feels good to be on here with you and feeling your energy and support and love. And I think we have to, when it's a hell yes,
it's a hell
yes. And it feels good when you do it. But when it's a maybe and then you say yes, or when it's a no and then you say yes, you're dreading it the whole entire time.
We get together. I mean, I love, love, love what I get to do. Have these incredible, empowering and invaluable conversations with global leaders like yourself. But really the cause, which is far bigger than what I'm doing sitting here, is I want to impact, like you do, millions and millions of people for generations. And I think it begins with us. I think us women have a real power when we really band together instead of pulling each other down, feeling like we're competition. I don't see competition. There's enough for everyone. The globe, we can expand our universe constantly. And I just love that we get to do this work together. And I so appreciate you. However, I have one final question that I'd love you to ask for us. And I so appreciate your time. This has just been a wonderful experience. But Koya, what specifically would you love to be known and remembered for?
What do I want to be known and remembered for? I have this practice where in one of my courses, I ask people to write their legacy.
Oh,
and I did it for myself. And in that legacy, my desire is just for people, whether it's knowing me through social media or in person, to know that I am loved and that my life made a positive impact on the world in some way or in their life in some way. And it's just as simple as that, just knowing that whether I was coming to them as an educator or entertainer, whether it was through my courses or singing or anything that I produce, I just want people to feel love, feel inspired, which I feel, inspiring someone is the highest thing you can do with your life. And I feel like that's in spirit. So leading people to spirit with my life that would make me feel great.
You're truly a beautiful person inside and out. And the beautiful thing is you are living your legacy every day, impacting millions of women. And this message, this conversation will be around the world. And I just want to say thank you from my heart to yours for being part of the Millionairess magazine and the Millionairess movement, because these conversations are so incredibly impactful. In fact, they should be in schools, because a conversation like we've had today can truly help another human being move forward in their life, make a different decision. And thanks to the work that you do, the incredible work, and I haven't even scratched the surface yet. I can feel that. And I truly hope that this is not the last time that we cross paths. And so thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. And definitely I wanted to stay in touch. And I'm so happy I got this opportunity to share with you and your community. And I know it's not the last time, because this was too much fun.
I'm going to be seeing you through yoga, right? You're the one teaching it.
Yes, I'm teaching. So I have like 30 days online. You can sign up for my Get Loved Up studio, meditation, yoga, and plant-based nutrition. So anything you need is right there for you to just gobble up. And I'll make sure you get a link to it.
So I'll be cussing you in the morning when I'm stretched inside out, upside down, going, God, woman, I think I'm going to get back on the treadmill.
Don't worry, I like it. I want to hear your swearing all the way here in Marina Del Rey.
I'll reach out personally and let you know how I go. I'll get a photo, twisted inside out, and I'll have I've got a little toy poodle who's all over. So I've got a home gym. But and then the cat usually jumps on my husband's back when he's trying to do yoga. It's just hilarious. But thank you again, gorgeous. You have a fabulous afternoon. Are you going out this evening, or what have you got planned?
I am. I'm going out. I just had graduation for my students, the people in my holistic health and yoga training. So we're going to watch the sunset. So.
Oh, is this? I hope I haven't taken up your time. Get down there.
No, it's perfect time.
You take care, beautiful, and I'll see you again.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a fabulous night. Love you.